Do you like dark, mysterious fragrances, especially around Halloween or the fall? If so, stay tuned. Hi guys, my name is Mika, and here on my channel I do fragrance reviews. All things fragrance. I love fragrances. Today I have 11 mysterious, dark, sensual, complex fragrances for you today. It's Halloween. You probably have some type of party to go to and would like some options to consider for your wardrobe. I have 11 fragrances, actually 10 fragrances, with one honorable mention. One of the things I want to point out is that many of these bottles are all black. I didn't plan that. It just so happens that they are all complex. They are all very long lasting, so I don't need to say how long it lasts for any one of these. It is at least 8+ hours for every single one of these. The other thing I want to point out is that to be on this list, the fragrance had to be dark, deep, intriguing, and complex, and most of all, mysterious. One of the things that really made me want to do this lineup is my last video. I brought out Tom Ford Black Orchid, and I talked about how mysterious this fragrance was, but I had so many more. So if you want to see what I said about Black Orchid, I'll link the video in the description box, but please check this out. This one is the most mysterious, and it was the inspiration for this lineup. The first fragrance that I consider to be mysterious, dark, deep is Oud Satin Mood by Maison Francis Kurkdjian. I love this fragrance. It is a great resemblance of deep, dark, and sexy. Oud Satin Mood, I purchased this because I really wanted to expand my nose to oud. As you know, I'm not very big on oud, but I knew that there were certain ouds out there that weren't the skanky oud, and you know, so many people talked about the smooth ouds, and this was listed as one of them. So this is why I picked this up. When I picked it up, I realized that it was so different. It is a head turner, but let's look at the notes. So in Oud Satin Mood, you have this beautiful amber, this beautiful wood, rose, as well as the agarwood, which is oud, and it just brings out the opulence of this fragrance. This fragrance is great for special occasions. I love wearing this with a little black dress when I'm going out for an event. I think the last time I wore this, I went to a concert, and it was a small, intimate concert, but I got so many compliments. One thing I will say is that the oud is there, but it's not prominent. It's in the background. It's the smoothest oud that I've laid my nose on. So this is the first deep, dark, mysterious fragrance, and this is Oud Satin Mood by Maison Francis Kurkdjian. All right, the next one, I've talked about this one before too. This one is Nishan NS Gorgeous bottle. This here is a unisex fragrance. It, I think, can be worn by women, but it's mainly popular by men. But this fragrance here, I think a woman can definitely pull this off. It has notes of honey, saffron, incense, vanilla, oh, and cinnamon. Oh my gosh, the cinnamon in here is gorgeous. This is beast mode. You have to be careful with the sprays. People will definitely smell this on you. You will definitely smell this on you. So it is very strong. The projection is strong. The scent trail is strong. But this is a gorgeous beauty. And it is so complex. You really can't pinpoint what exactly you're smelling. This cinnamon in here is blended so beautifully with the incense and the vanilla. And it has leather in here as well as whiskey. I can smell the whiskey, but I don't smell the leather too much. If it's in here, it is just a slight leather or suede beauty. I think this is gorgeous. Next on the list is Shergi. This is by Serge Lutens. And the juice in here, I don't know if you can see the juice, but it's like a deep, almost like a burgundy color. And this right here can be worn by men and women. It is a deep, sensuous scent. You really would be so perplexed as to what exactly are you smelling. It is a shift changer. When you first spray it, and then after it dries down, it morphs and it changes throughout the whole wearing. To me, I think this reminds me of I would say like Morocco. I would say this is just very deep and a sensuous scent. The notes in here are tobacco leaf. It also has honey. It has incense, sandalwood, rose, iris, musk, but most of all, it has a note of hay. And I think this is just so sensuous. And it's different. It is one of those fragrances that I got early on in my fragrance journey, and I was just enamored by the difference, the uniqueness of this fragrance. This is something you don't smell on the average person. It is very mysterious. So this is Shergi by Serge Lutens. Next is Side Effect by Initio Parfums. And this bottle alone just lets you know how mysterious and dark this is. But this is one of my favorite vanillas. It is just a different type of vanilla. This is not your, gourmand sugary cookie, your vanilla from like a cake vanilla. This is a different type of vanilla. It has a dark vanilla tobacco rum concoction. That's all I can say about this. And it is so sexy, and you will get compliments from this. It is strong, very strong, and it also has cinnamon in here. I love the cinnamon here, but it's that rum and the vanilla and the tobacco leaf that makes this so pleasant. I picture wearing this to a cigar bar or a lounge where you have a glass of cognac and you get the ambiance of the lounge, and it is just sexy. You and your guy are dressed up. You have on some black leather boots with a nice sexy dress, and then he has on a nice outfit, maybe like a black leather jacket. But this is the vibe that I get when I think of Side Effect by Initio Parfums. So once again, this is very strong and it is very long lasting. But you will love this. This is a different kind of vanilla. The next fragrance is one of the fragrances that I got early on in my fragrance journey. And as you all know, I have told you that I am a Coco girl. I love everything Chanel. And this here is Coco Noir by Chanel. And I just think the bottle is so beautiful. In here, you are going to get grapefruit, rose, jasmine. It's the narcissus. It's the tonka bean, vanilla. And it also has this beautiful white musk. I smell the cloves in here. But most of all, it's these beautiful florals. And the florals are not loud, but they're in the background. And you definitely get whiffs of those. And it's not your typical Chanel DNA, so you don't really smell the Chanel aldehydes. But this is gorgeous. I love wearing this out to an event where I know that I might be, you know, in others' space, their intimate space. And I like wearing this on a date night. But most of all, I wear this for me because it is just that sexiness that this fragrance gives me. So once again, this here is Coco Noir by Chanel. This here was my first introduction to musk. I bought this, I would say in my early 30s. And it was the first musk, and this here is Narciso Rodriguez for Her. And I wasn't quite mature or ready for this fragrance. As I continued to let it sit, and I came back to it and I was ready for it. And that musk in there is just so unique. If you're not familiar with Narciso Rodriguez, he has a very unique musk DNA, and it is in all of his fragrances. But this was my very first introduction to musk, and this here to me is just so sophisticated. This is very classy. I think this is going to always be a classic musk. Whenever anybody is thinking about or talking about a musk, this comes to mind. I also did not know that Mason Francis Kurkdjian partnered on this fragrance, and I love his nose. But this one here, this is the Toilette. There is a Parfum of the For Her. I really don't care for the Parfum. I like the Toilette. The notes are African orange flower, osmanthus, bergamot, musk, amber, vanilla, and patchouli. And the patchouli in here is a patchouli that I really can tolerate. It's not too animalic and dirty to me, but this is very sophisticated. I fell in love with musk when I first laid my nose on this. And it's a very dominant, intense, yet not overbearing, sophisticated scent. I also think of seduction when I think of this fragrance, and it has a slight sweetness once you let it wear on your skin. I will be honest, this is a fragrance you don't want to spray on paper. You will be turned off, and it has to just gel with your chemistry. And if you have the right chemistry for this fragrance, that sweetness is going to come out, and it's just going to be so beautiful on you. If you are afraid of musk, I do recommend trying his musk. It's not one of those animalic musks, but it is a musk that you definitely will think is tolerable, and it is something that you can enjoy and let it just wear on you and play with your chemistry and your body chemistry, and you will get all of those beautiful notes, not all at once, but they do come out at different intervals of the wear. So that is Narciso Rodriguez for Her. The next fragrance is Mandor, and this is by Soradora. I also thought the bottle was really cute when I first saw this. But this here is your sexy, dark cherry almond, boozy, leather, powdery musk. That's what I get from this fragrance. The leather in here is so beautiful, like a leather handbag. You know, when you get a brand new handbag and you open it up, that's what this leather smells like. But it is that sexy, deep cherry note in here. It is like, a lot of people compare this to cherry chapstick. Just pretend that you dip that chapstick into a vanilla rum. That is what you get. A cherry chapstick dipped in vanilla rum. It is a gorgeous nighttime fragrance. This is very provocative. Oh my gosh, this is so sexy. But it has notes of cashmere, it has cacao, It also has the tonka bean, but it is the cashmere that makes this so creamy. So this, like I said, is a going out fragrance. I like wearing this on date night. So this here is Mandor by Sorador, and it performs so well in the cold weather. So the next fragrance is one of my all-time favorites, and this is not just your any fragrance, but this here is the original formulation of Crystal Noir by Versace. This has been reformulated, and unfortunately I do not care for the new formulation. This is the original formulation, and it is gorgeous. Oh my gosh, this is so mysterious, it's so complex, it's so, oh my gosh, it is just so sexy. This is sexy as well. The notes, it has pepper, ginger, cardamom, coconut, gardenia, orange blossom, sandalwood, and musk. And what I get from here is definitely the pepper from the top, and then you do get that beautiful orange blossom as well as the ginger. It's the ginger and the coconut. But this is gorgeous, and I love wearing this when I have a special occasion. You will get a lot of compliments from this one. Like I said, I don't know about the new formulation, but with the older formulation you will get lots and lots of compliments where people are asking you to write down the fragrance that you have. You can still find the old formulation, you just have to go out and hunt for it. But to me, this is a very gorgeous, sensual, and it's the coconut and the ginger that makes this so beautiful. And again, I love this. This is my favorite. I have multiple backups. Anytime I find the old formulation, I will snatch this up. But this is Versace Crystal Noir, and this is the Parfum. And if you are familiar with this fragrance, or you are a frag head, then you know the debate whether the Parfum or the Toilette. I also have the original formulation of the Toilette, and this here is the Crystal Versace Crystal Noir Toilette. And the difference with this one versus the Parfum is that this does not have coconut, and it has peony. And it is a light airiness, more floral than the Parfum, whereas that one had the gardenia and it was deep. This is more airy. But I love this fragrance. I like wearing this when it is not as dark outside. Maybe it's an evening event. I can wear this during the day, but I actually like reserving the Parfum for nighttime. But this is also gorgeous as well. It is also long lasting for it to be a toilette. It performs just as well as the Parfum. So again, this is Versace Crystal Noir, and this is the Eau de Toilette. This next fragrance, most people either hate it or they love it, but I actually love it. I had to let it wear on me. But this here is Effin' Fabulous by Tom Ford. And when I say this is complicated, this is the definition of complication. Oh my gosh, this here has lavender, it has vanilla, it has bitter almond, it has leather, and it has cashmere. It is just so intense. You do have to wait for the dry down. I do think that if you first spray this, you may be turned off, but the love is in the dry down. You have to wait for that dry down. And once you allow that dry down, it is going to be a very interesting and intoxicating fragrance. I think that Tom Ford sets the tone when it comes to deep, dark, complicated fragrances. I don't think this one was missed. This is the Tom Ford dark DNA that you normally get with his fragrances. And I love this. I love wearing this with some jeans and a sweater and maybe a leather jacket and some boots. But this here to me is just so intoxicating, and it is very much different. It's men and women can wear this, but it is so different. All right, this next fragrance is what I pull out when I'm going somewhere special. This is very special for me because I am a fan of original formulations, and I'm one of those people where I love the hunt. I love, you know, going on that scavenger hunt to look for those fragrances that are discontinued or they are the original formulation. And this here is Addict by Dior. So Dior Addict, and this is the original formulation, which comes in the gold top. This does not come off like the newer bottles do. And it has blackberry, mandarin leaf, vanilla, jasmine, rose, tonka bean, and this gorgeous sandalwood. When I first sprayed this, I thought that it was exotic and very unique. It is definitely for the mature and the grown and sexy. I fell in love with this as I got older and I was able to appreciate this DNA. But you can wear this dressed up or down. I prefer to dress up with this. And when I say dress up, this is like going to a concert. I would say going to an opera, going to a play. This is just gorgeous. It was love for me at first sniff, but I did have to get a little older, learn to appreciate the maturity of this fragrance. But for me, it is the Queen of the Night flowers. Those flowers are just so alluring. And you don't have to spray very much. A little goes a long way. And it is loud. It is beast mode. You will get compliments with this fragrance. All right, so the last fragrance, I saved this as an honorable mention only because it is discontinued. I say this in pretty much all of my videos. I don't know why they discontinue the best gems, but if you are familiar with this line, this here is C by Giorgio Armani, and this is Le Parfum, and this is discontinued. And you can see the bottle. And I actually have multiple of these flangers, but I love this one mainly because it is that infamous black currant. The difference with this one is that this black currant is deeper. It's deeper than all of the other flankers. It has incense, jasmine, amber, vanilla, and it has a beautiful patchouli that is in the background. It's not overbearing. This here to me is niche quality. You would not know that this is a designer fragrance. It is so niche to me. What I like most is that it just smells like mulled wine, and you get that rich, deep, dark black currant along with the incense. And like I said, this bottle I will definitely cherish because it is hard to find, and when you get it, you have to cherish this because it is just a beautiful gem, and I hate that they discontinued this. So guys, that wraps up my top mysterious, deep, dark, complex fragrance lineup. I hope that you enjoyed all 10 fragrances that I brought to you, along with the one honorable mention. And if you can get your hands on any of the original formulations that I spoke of, it is worth the hunt. Thank you for joining me. And I want to ask that you don't forget to like, subscribe, as well as comment. Let me know what are your fragrances that you enjoy wearing that are deep, complex, and mysterious. Halloween is coming right around the corner, and what will you be wearing?